Emma Bradford's hands trembled as she gripped the edge of the conference table. The board members' voices blurred into meaningless noise while Manhattan's skyline mocked her through the floor-to-ceiling windows. Her chest tightened with each breath, and the familiar weight of expectation pressed down like a stone. "Miss Bradford?" Her assistant's voice cut through the fog. "They need your decision on the merger." Emma stood abruptly, her chair scraping against marble. "I need air." She didn't wait for responses or explanations. Within minutes, her black sedan pulled away from the gleaming corporate tower, leaving. Behind the world that knew her name, her net worth, and her every move, "Take me somewhere quiet," she whispered to her driver. "Somewhere no one will find me." When 20 minutes later, they stopped before a modest building tucked between weathered brownstones. A simple wooden sign read Willow Haven Spa. No photographers. Waited here? No board members with their endless demands? Emma stepped inside. The scent of lavender embraced her like a forgotten childhood memory. The receptionist smiled warmly. "Walk in," Emma nodded. Her voice caught somewhere between exhaustion and desperation. "We have one therapist available. His name is Noah." Emma barely heard the words. She just needed to disappear to become someone else for an hour. Someone whose touch didn't come with conditions or calculations. The massage room was simple. Wooden walls, a single candle, soft music that seemed to slow time itself. Emma wrapped herself in a linen towel and lay on the table, her defenses finally beginning to crack. "Good afternoon, I'm Noah." His voice was calm, water over smooth stones. Emma turned her head slightly and met eyes like storm clouds that had seen too much. He was younger than she expected, maybe late 20s, hands that moved without urgency. When Noah placed his palms on her shoulders, Emma almost flinched. She was accustomed to touch that demanded something in return, that calculated value and worth. But this touch simply existed, asking for nothing. He worked in silence. His fingers finding tension she didn't know she carried. Minutes passed like hours as Emma's thoughts finally quieted. For the first time in months, she felt human rather than corporate. "You hold your breath like you're bracing for impact," Noah said gently. "I've seen it before in people who live in war zones, except yours is made of glass offices." Emma's eyes opened. "You don't know who I am, do you?" "I don't need to." The words pierced something deep inside her. When had anyone last said that? And had her name, her wealth, her power not preceded her into every room? An hour later, Noah stepped back. Emma sat up slowly, hair tousled, and something fundamentally shifted inside her chest. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome," he replied, and walked away without asking for anything more. Outside, the city buzzed with its usual chaos, but Emma sat in her car in perfect silence, fingertips still tingling with the memory of genuine human connection. Emma returned the next day, then the next. Each session with Noah felt like stepping into a different world where her name carried no weight and her money held no power. He touched her with the same gentle presence, spoke with the same quiet wisdom. On the fourth visit, Emma couldn't contain herself any longer. As Noah prepared the massage table, she turned to face him directly. "I want to ask you something," she said, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "One night with me, just one. No strings, no complications. I'll pay you $1 million. She had used money to bypass emotion her entire life. It always worked. Men, politicians, business partners, everyone had their price. Except Noah. "I don't sell myself," he said simply. "Not for any price." Emma blinked, stunned. "You think this is about you?" "This is about me needing to feel something real for once in my life." "I believe you," Noah replied gently. "But that's not something money can buy." He bowed his head slightly. "Good night, Miss Bradford." And he walked out, leaving Emma alone in the candlelit room, staring at the door in disbelief. For the first time in years, someone had said no to her, not out of fear or power games, but out of principle. The rejection cut deeper than any business failure ever had. That night, Emma lay awake in her penthouse, the ghost of his touch still lingering on her skin like a question she didn't know how to answer. Emma couldn't let it go. In her sedan the next morning, she pulled out her phone and searched for Noah Miller. Then variations. Noah M. Noah massage therapist. Noah Willow Haven. Nothing appeared. No social media, no LinkedIn profile, no digital footprint whatsoever. By evening, she had her best private investigator on the case. The man who had exposed corrupt politicians and celebrity scandals came back with a single-page report that made Emma's blood run cold. No birth certificate, no school records, no credit history before 2019. He appeared out of nowhere. Either he's running from something or hiding something very significant. When Emma returned to the spa the following day, the receptionist smiled. Apologetically, Noah called in. Something urgent came up. Emma stood in the rain outside afterward, umbrella forgotten, staring at the building that had become her sanctuary. The man who had touched her without expectation was a ghost with no past. Meanwhile, across the city, Noah knelt at a weathered grave marker. "Daniel," he whispered to his brother's headstone, "I met someone today who reminds me of what I lost." He placed a white rose at the base of the stone. "I told her no because I'm not ready to feel again. But I can't stop thinking about her either." The wind carried his words into the evening sky as Noah wrestled with memories he had spent 5 years trying to bury. His real name, his former life, the accident that had taken everything from him, all carefully hidden behind the simple identity of a massage therapist who asked no questions and expected nothing in return. But Emma Bradford was threatening to unravel the careful walls he had built around his shattered heart. Emma waited 3 days before returning to Willow Haven. This time Noah was there, but something had changed in his eyes. They held a vulnerability she hadn't seen before. "You investigated me," he said quietly as she entered the massage room. Emma stopped short. "How did you?" "I have friends who watch for certain searches." Noah sat heavily in the small chair, his shoulders carrying a weight she finally recognized. "My real name is Nathan Cross. I was a surgeon." Emma's breath caught. She knew that name. The brilliant cardiac surgeon whose career ended in tragedy 5 years ago. "The car accident," she whispered. "Your brother and fiancé." Nathan nodded, unable to meet her eyes. "I was driving. We were coming back from choosing wedding venues. A drunk driver ran a red light. His voice broke. They died instantly. Survived without a scratch." Emma moved closer, her earlier hurt forgotten. "You disappeared after the lawsuit. I couldn't save the 2 people who mattered most. How could I trust myself to save anyone else?" Nathan looked up, tears streaming down his face. "I came here to fade away, to become nobody. Then you walked in, and for the first time in 5 years, I felt something other than guilt." Emma knelt beside him, understanding finally washing over. "That's why you said no." "I said no because you deserve someone who isn't broken. Someone who can give you more than just emptiness." Emma took his hands in hers, noting the surgeon's steadiness still present despite his pain. "I'm not looking for perfection, Nathan. I'm looking for something real." He searched her eyes, finding something there he had forgotten existed: acceptance without judgment. Connection without conditions. "I don't have $1 million to offer you," Emma said softly. "But I have something more valuable: time, patience, and the understanding that some people are worth waiting for." Nathan pulled her closer, and for the first time since the accident, he allowed himself to hope. "I might not be ready for everything right now," he whispered against her hair. "Then we'll start with what we can handle," Emma replied. Just 2 people who found each other when they needed it most. Outside, the city continued its relentless pace. But inside the small room at Willow Haven Spa, 2 broken souls began the slow, careful work of healing together. Asterisk the end. Asterisk asterisk. Like this video, if the story touched your heart, subscribe for more emotional tales and share with someone who believes in the power of true love. And let us know in the comments. We love connecting with our global community of romance lovers.